And the next presenting company is AsceliaPharma and Magnus Corfitzen, CEO.
So thank you very much. Looking forward to updating you on our progress here in AsceliaPharma. So as you are well aware, AsceliaPharma is an orphan oncology company. That means we are developing new drugs to help people suffering from rare cancer conditions. We have a pipeline with 2 assets, Mangoral currently in a global phase 3 program, and Oncoral getting ready for phase 2. We're based in Malmö in Sweden, traded on Nasdaq Stockholm, and we have a very strong and experienced team with late stage and commercial experience. We've also built a world-class net of medical advisors and other consultants to help us move our products, our product pipeline forward in development and to the real market for patients. So the pipeline, as mentioned, consists of Mangoral and Oncoral. Mangoral is a novel imaging drug. It's given to a patient before they go into the MRI scanner. And we can use it for a subgroup of all the patients in need of a liver MRI, those with poor kidney function. That is an orphan drug designation, orphan drug condition. We have the orphan drug designation from the FDA because there are no products on the market today that address this need. This is a $500 to $600 million addressable market annually in US, Europe, and Japan. We are, as mentioned, in an ongoing global phase 3 study. We expect results in the second half of next year. And we expect to launch the product in the US with our own sales force in Q4 2022 or first half 23. The other program in our pipeline is Oncoral. Oncoral is a patented tablet formulation of irinotecan. Irinotecan is a widely used chemotherapeutic agent, or cellgift in Swedish. It's very potent, but it has some toxicity challenges. We think this once daily tablet formulation has some significant benefit, both in terms of safety, but also efficacy, and ultimately on patient convenience and preference. We're focusing on gastric cancer, and we hope to soon be able to share the development path, the development plan in more detail with all of you. So if we go into Mangoral and our first lead program, it's an orphan drug imaging agent. It's for liver MRI. And what you see here is really, you could say, the snapshot rationale for why it works. This is from a clinical study that we have performed. This is a patient with colorectal cancer. If you look at the picture to the left, that is the unenhanced. This is the standard of care for imaging of these patients with poor kidney function. Imagine the patient lying on the back with the feet towards you, and you can see to the left side of the picture, you see the liver. The black dots on the liver are bile ducts and blood vessels, so this is perfectly normal, and a trained radiologist can see this based on this image and other images. Then this patient takes Mangoral, and with Mangoral, all the healthy liver cells become white because the manganese from Mangoral goes into the healthy cells, but it does not go into the metastasis. You can see what you can see in the red ring is a metastasis that was undetectable by the unenhanced, but is detectable by the Mangoral enhanced. This would lead to very different decisions by the medical staff, and this metastasis could probably be removed by surgery, and hence you could have a life-saving intervention because of Mangoral. This is the unmet need that we are addressing, and this is a $500 to $600 million market. We will get data from the phase 3 study second half next year. So we're not trying to replace the existing group of products, the gadolinium-based products. We're going into the segment where with patients with poor kidney function, where there's no product available today. That is the market we target. That is the need that we are fulfilling with Mangoral, and that's where it's going to be a major difference to patients. So when we look at how we've come, how far we've come, we've completed 6 clinical studies, phase 1 and phase 2 studies. This has given us a wealth of information about how Mangoral works. The results have been very consistent. We've also done, as some of you know, a blind read where Professor London Nelson from Duke University looked at all the images and analyzed according to a protocol. The results were overwhelming. He saw 33% more lesions, more black spots in these 178 patients. And when we looked at lesion visualization parameters like delineation and conspicuity, we had a highly significant positive result. So we've taken these results and designed a phase 3 program and discussed with the authorities. And this has led to the Sparkle study. It's a 200-patient study being conducted in many countries around the world. And as you can see, the primary endpoint is something that we've seen before. It's something that we looked at extensively in the phase 1 and 2 development program, and we take those endpoints and use in phase 3. We think that overall reduces the risk of drug development by using results where we, in the past, have proven strong results and repeating that in a larger patient population in phase 3. We've also agreed with regulators that the relevant comparator for Mangrove will be unenhanced MR. So the pictures I showed you a couple of minutes ago, where the left-hand side was unenhanced, the right-hand side was Mangrove enhanced, that is actually the comparison that we will be performing in this study. It will be read not by us, obviously, but by 3 independent and trained liver MRI specialists. And if 2 out of 3 have superiority for Mangrove, the study is successful. It's a short follow-up, only 72 hours, and then there are some you would say some safety follow-up. I mean, there is the efficacy will be taken on day 1. And therefore, there is you would say a low risk of interruptions to the study. Once the patient is included and dosed, they will be scanned, and risk of loss to follow-up will only be on safety data. But that would be significant. Obviously, we don't want that, but in a COVID-19 environment, that's an important parameter. So if we're looking at, we're getting these 200 patients. This is a rare condition, so they are not easy to find. And that's why we have 40 to 50 hospitals involved. We have some of the best medical institutions in the world. You see some of the names here, and many more, and also super high-profile names. The investigators at these sites are very engaged and are very supportive of our effort to bring Mangrove to patients. To me, that tells a story that there is a very tangible unmet need in this patient population, and that Mangrove can address that. That's why these world experts are interested in working with us on this. Switching gears a little bit from Mangrove on the development side to Oncoral. As mentioned, Oncoral is the tablet formulation of irinotecan, this tablet, chemotherapeutic drug. It's on the market today, not as a tablet, because that's not there, but as an infusion. So a patient will go with one of these cancer types, will go to the hospital every 2 or 3 weeks. They will sit in an infusion chair for 90 minutes, 120 minutes, and get a massive dose of irinotecan. The reason for that is that irinotecan transforms into SM38, the active metabolite, which is very potent in killing tumor cells. The problem is that it's also toxic, like other chemotherapeutic agents. And because they get a massive dose on one day, then a lot of chemotherapy will be in the blood circulation for the next couple of days. There is a lot of side effects in that period of time in particular. And the concept that we are working with is by giving the patient the opportunity to take daily tablets at home, they will not get this massive dose all at once. And we hope that can improve the side effect profile and continuation of therapy and continue to treat the tumor. The initial indication we will go for is in gastric cancer. There's a huge unmet need. It's a $3-4 billion market globally, and it continues to grow. What is unusual about this is, given that it's the 6th most prevalent cancer in the world, it's actually an orphan condition in the US and Europe, which leads to a more efficient development path. So where we are now is that we have completed the phase 1A as monotherapy, phase 1B in combination therapy with very encouraging results. We can see that this can be part of an all-tablet combination using with other tablet anti-tumor agents. And we are building a strong advisory board with very experienced medical oncologists who can help us develop this product and put us in it right to the patients who need it. What we're working on now is a phase 2 study design that we hope to share with you in the near future. And that study is likely going to be starting next year, provided we have the financing, and completing with some kind of survival endpoint in 2023. The initial indication will be gastric cancer, but we see a lot of opportunities for this agent, not just in gastric cancer, but in a broader range. So moving on to the commercial opportunity, because with Mangoral we are so far in the development that commercial preparations are ongoing. So the addressable market for Mangoral in US, Europe, and Japan is $500 to $600 million. That is based on a very rigorous and detailed analysis of number of patients, number of scans being performed at hospitals, which hospitals are they accessible, etc. And also with very in-depth discussions with payer and payer experts, where we have a good understanding of the pricing sensitivity, what are the restrictions for access and reimbursements in various countries around the world. So based on this understanding, we believe it's a $500 to $600 million market, actually something that we upgraded at our Capital Markets Day in October, because these results were quite significant. In addition to US, Europe, and Japan, other markets are also of significant interest, in particular China. So when we look at US, because this is the biggest market, like with many other drugs, the US is the biggest market. That's where we're gonna generate the lion's share of the value. We are building a strong presence, increasing our presence in the US. We're working with a number of the premier hospitals and the key opinion leaders in the US. We have our manufacturing of Mangoral in New Jersey. It's the sale that we have consistently manufactured at commercial scale is sufficient for global supply, so we are in good shape on that. And then we're working with Redeye and others in terms of getting the medical expertise and the network to ramp up. We will be doing a lot of things the next couple of years to make sure that once we get the approval, we can get the reimbursement as quickly as possible and start bringing Mangoral out to the patients. The sales team in the US would be approximately 20 people, and that's because we have most of these patients are very sick, and they go to the major hospitals, and we believe approximately 400 hospitals will cover 75% of all the patients for Mangoral. So to summarize, AsceliaPharma, we are in orphan oncology, rare cancer indications, where patients really need something better. That's what we're trying to bring to them. We are late-stage development, moving into commercial phase. We are well financed. We are financed through the phase 3 program of Mangoral. Mangoral is addressing $500 to $600 million annual market. We are in a registration-enabling phase 3 program. We expect the results of the study second half next year. So things are progressing very well. And overall, heading into phase 2, we think there is tremendous opportunity in many solid tumors, with gastric cancer probably being the most interesting opportunity in the first wave, so to speak. So with this, I'd like to conclude the presentation on my 30 minutes. So I'll be happy to take any questions.
All right. Thank you, Magnus, for a great presentation, as always.
Thank you.
So your intention is to out-license the Mangoral asset in Europe and Japan. When do you see a deal like this taking place? Is it before the top-line data readout or after?
That's a great question, as always, Ludwig. No, but I think it's hard to tell. So we feel very confident about the outcome and the likelihood of a positive outcome. So we don't want to make a transaction where the partner will require a discount based on the phase 3 data readout. Then we'd rather wait. If we can find a partner who believes as strongly in the results as we do, then it may be possible to do a partnership before the phase 3 data is available. But I think time will tell. But we're not in the process of giving discounts for early partnering on this asset when we have the capacity and the financing to complete the study.
All right. And are you seeing any effects on the patient recruitment from the COVID-19 pandemic?
We saw something in Q2 over the summer, like many other companies. I mean, we are seeing, we're hearing some anecdotal feedback from certain places where we can see hard hit clusters where they say now it's a little more difficult. We also have sites that say things are moving forward. There's COVID-19, but life continues, including clinical trial enrollment.
All right. And pricing of Mangoral, you previously, if I remember it correctly, it's a range between 1,500 and 3,000 per treatment, right? That you have gained from the payers survey. Am I correct? Yeah. What kind of reference point do they use as a socioeconomic cost?
Yeah, so it's right that we previously had that guidance, and that was based on interviews with more than 25 payers. Those now we've done an even deeper dive with more than 50 experts, and as a consequence, we've sort of stopped providing a specific price point. I would say it's not far off comparing to where we were in the past. It's dependent on the pricing, the phase 3 results, how strong the data will be. That will also impact pricing. But we don't want to have a specific price guidance at this point. We've come so far, and if we set a price of, let's say, X $1,000, and the value from the phase 3 trial will be even stronger, we may be able to get a better price because we provide more value to the healthcare system than we currently anticipate. So we don't want to limit the price too much because nobody wants to pay more than they need. So that's why we, in line with industry practice, do not provide a specific price guidance.
All right, got it. And what kind of company do you believe Ascelia will be in, let's say, 3 to 5 years? What's beyond Mangoral and Oncoral? Do you see yourself in licensing additional orphan assets, or what is the plan?
We see ourselves as an emerging commercial stage company, and we will bring Mangoral to the market. Most likely with Oncoral, we will need a partner, but I think with the capabilities we have in the team and the significant progress we've done with both assets, I think we can do more with more compounds. So we will look to acquire or in-license additional compounds, potentially something that could be, you would say, commercialized through our US sales force that we have for Mangoral. So I think this is really a company platform and capability platform for creating tremendous growth over time by M&A and growing the company even stronger and bigger and using those synergies. So I think this is a tremendous journey, and everybody in the team are super excited about what we do and how we are making this progress.
All right. Thank you for that, Magnus. I think we have to stop here.
Yeah.
Time is running out.
Yeah, thank you, Ludwig, for the questions and for having me here today.
Yeah, thank you for attending.
Thanks. Bye.